So guys, this is what we're going to do tonight. For guys, you guys don't know, I speak really fast when I'm on here. I want to give you guys value. And the only way I know how to do that, to pack that in this time, is speak fast enough so that you guys can know what we're going to cover. Remember, we are recording these. These are recorded in our portal. Everybody who stays to the end get access to our portal if you don't have access yet. Remember, in that portal, I'm building out just different courses for QuickBooks that will be in there. So you can go in there, you can watch these on demand. It usually takes us after the webinar, probably about 3 to 5 days to get the new one uploaded. But tonight we're talking about how to scale your business in 2022. And this is kind of our agenda, right? We're going to start off with this mentoring moment. I'm going to go through that with you guys. Then I'm going to demo for you in QuickBooks how to prepare 1099s. I know some of you guys got emails. It said something different. Yes, we are talking about how to prepare 1099s tonight. I'm going to demonstrate that in QuickBooks, show you how to use the wizard. And then I may actually even give you my free checklist of what we use to prepare 1099s. Then we're going to go into the live Q&A lightning round. This is any questions that you may have. Those are going to go in the Q&A section. Like Sylvia said, you can actually upvote those. And then we're going to end off the night. We're going to pick the winners and we will be out of here. All right. So guys, thanks so much for joining us. And let's just get into it. I want to say this to you guys because I think it's really important, right? Don't do what I did. Do what I say, right? Why am I saying that? Hey, we're in the beginning of 2022. And like I was saying in the beginning of this call, mentally, this was a challenging week. Why was this a challenging week mentally? Because where I wanted to be on January 1, 2022, I missed that goal. I was not there, right? And I'm going to share with you why I missed that goal so no one else on this call ever misses a goal again, right? Because I think it's really critically important that we know this. I think what tends to happen, people tend to say that, hey, my goal is make $100,000. My goal is to actually do $1 million. And that's good. And that's a number. But where the challenge becomes in, you need to be able to build a system that can produce that result, right? So the goal that I had outlined that I wanted to hit, it was that why I didn't reach that goal is because I didn't create the system that will deliver that result. So that's the first step of it. That's why people miss goals. The second thing is that sometimes what tends to happen is not even the system, but it's the person that you need to become to achieve that goal. And I think a lot of people actually miss that. You know, when we talk about monetary goals and we talk about money, and if someone actually has come to the level that they're a millionaire, well, who do they need to be to become a millionaire? And I think we miss that. And that is the part that becomes challenging because I need to change, or I need to surround myself with the right people and the right components that can deliver that value to the marketplace so that I can actually have the result. So I've been through, you know, so many coaching programs, and I want to share with you guys, you know, the real system that we execute on a daily basis internally to be able to build out what we're doing, because it's all a numbers game. And people always says, hey, I want to scale my business. And they don't know what that really means, or they don't know the work that's entailed to get them to the point to actually really scale their business, right? And I'm going to show you a step-by-step process of actually how to do this. And if you execute this and you keep this before you, there's no business goal that you can't reach. Monetary, right? I'm talking monetary. I'm not talking about, you know, you may have be a goal to be a better person. I don't know what that means. That's a different story. But I'm talking about, hey, what do we need to do to actually achieve that goal? And I think everyone says, oh, I'm ready to scale. I tell people every day, I'm ready to scale my business, I'm ready to do this. Well, what does that mean? And I think this is really what it means if I'm going to scale my business. So it's an equation. And if you're writing, this is definitely a write down moment. If you're writing this down, if you're on this call, if you spent your time to be here and you have a business and you're looking to actually grow it, or maybe you even work with someone and you want to go back and tell them, hey, this is the framework. I'm giving you a framework. And the reason why I'm giving you a framework works no matter what, right? So some people have different business, like, oh, well, this worked for my business. This is the framework. I think over the last 20 years, I've probably worked inside at least 1,000 businesses. And I've seen businesses that suck, and I've seen businesses that scaled. And what was the difference? The difference is they knew what to actually focus on, okay? So the first thing that we got to do in the beginning of this equation, if you're going to grow your business, you need to have a system to generate leads, right? When I work with solopreneurs that's having a challenge making less than $100,000, what's usually the problem? The problem is usually two things: is their time. They don't have enough time, or they are not being strategic of how they generate leads. Okay. So the first step is, hey, what do I have out there to generate leads? And most people think about social media. Hey, I'm going to go put something on social media, but it's much more, there's a much more robust pipeline that goes with just putting something on social media. I can put something on social media, but if I don't have a pipeline that leads them somewhere to have them raise their hand or say they want to talk to me, I'm never going to convert that lead, right? So the next one of this is, if I take my leads and I multiply that by my conversion percentage, that is going to equal how many clients I have. So this is simple math. Well, maybe, I don't know, multiplication was probably hard for some people in school, right? But it's pretty easy if I whip out my calculator, right? If I got 10 leads today, 10 people I talked to, and I converted 0, I got 0 new clients today. But if I have 10 leads and I have a 50% conversion rate, I'm going to have 5 new clients. Does that make sense? So the whole thing is that if I can understand, and there are thousands of ways to generate leads. And if I focus on, hey, my lead generation process and then my conversions, then I can convert clients. One of my good partners, I'm doing a webinar with him on the 25th, right, called Making the Leap, right? What is he talking about? He's talking about, hey, how do you actually convert these people? Because I think for most of us, it's not the leads. I think we all get introductions. People introduce us to people. But the challenge becomes, how do I talk about myself? How do I feel good about talking about myself? And am I okay with asking for the money? And if I can figure that part out, my conversion rate goes up. Also, people get caught up in conversions. Sometimes what they're offering, they're talking to the wrong leads, right? If I'm a financial guy and I want to actually sell somebody financial services, and the person doesn't believe that they need someone like me, then I'm talking to the wrong lead. So I got to make sure my leads times my conversions, that equals my clients, right? We're talking about scaling the business. Once I have clients, right, then we're talking about what's the number of transactions that I'm doing with that client, right? So let's just say I have a client and that client is a retainer client. That means I'm actually transacting with that client 12 times a year, right? Times what's the average amount I'm charging by that transaction, that equals my revenue. This is all numbers. And a lot of you guys don't look at it from a number standpoint. You're looking at like, hey, how do I do this? But this is really the formula. And the more things I can do to actually increase this number, the bigger the business that I can actually build. Right? I said, don't do what I do, right? So I missed my goal. Why did I miss my goal? I wasn't focused on the number of transactions. So what I got caught up in, hey, what's the new client that I need to get? And this is where a lot of us miss it at. We don't actually go back and focus. How can I give my existing client more value to increase the number of transactions or increase the average sale, which increases my revenue? So that's a big piece. If I want to scale the business, right? Because we're talking about scaling. After I actually have that revenue, then it's revenue times my margins equals my profit, right? And there's 2 types of profits here. One is gross profit and one is net profit. And what tends to happen is that a lot of people can generate revenue, but what they can't do is keep the money. If I'm actually going to worry about my margins, then I'm thinking about who I'm using on my team. And Sylvia, me and you had this conversation earlier today. And what are they actually costing me? Because if they're costing me so much, they could be actually eating into my margins and making my profit actually less. So if I'm going to actually scale a business, these are the things I need to pay attention to. And for a lot of us, we're not paying attention to that. We have this feel good part about business, and some of us are not running businesses, we're running nonprofits, right? Because we want to actually feel good about the business that we're doing. But if we are running a business entity, the number one motive is to make profit, is to actually build my wealth, is to actually leave a legacy to my family. And sometimes we get caught up and we miss that part. And sometimes we go into business because we want to internally feel good. And sometimes that's not the place for us. So I want to round it off like to tell you this. If I'm going to actually scale a business, I need to pay attention to what the numbers are, but I need to have systems in place, right? What's my system? And Whitney, I'm so glad you're on the call, right? Whitney's on my team, right? What's her number one responsibility? Her number one responsibility is to make sure that the work moves forward in our firm. Why? Because the work doesn't move forward in our firm, we don't deliver to our clients. We don't actually deliver to our clients. They're going to be pissed off. Guess what happens? They get pissed off. They don't give us referrals, which stops us from what? Growing. And they just get a bad experience from us. And that's because most businesses don't have systems. It's the number one reason why most small businesses don't sell, right? They go throughout their life building a business. They come to the end of the day, they want to sell this business and can't, right? I'm not building a business just to make money. I'm building a business because I'm going to have a sellable asset that I'm going to actually take that wealth and make it generational in my family. I'm not waking up in the morning and says, hey, I need to make a buck. I don't need to make a buck anymore. I did that 10 years ago. That's not the strategy anymore, right? The strategy is, hey, how do I actually grow this business? How do I actually build this business so that everybody I touch get value? And if I'm not actually giving value, then my business is not worth anything. And here's the real truth about it. This business has to operate without me. If the business is dependent on me, that is not worth anything. It is me. So I am so gung-ho on working with my clients. You got to get the hell out of the business. You have to. You got to operate from a standpoint that this business, you can go away for a year and the business still operates. And if it does not, you haven't built anything of a value. You haven't built a system. You've actually created yourself a job. I don't know if any of you guys read the E-Myth, but I'm all in the E-Myth right now. If you've never read it before, that is where I'm at. This is how you scale your business, not in just 2022. This is how you scale your business forward. And I found this model maybe about 10 years ago. And I think I saw Chris on a call, Chris Warren in my BNI group. He actually introduced me to another coach whose program I went to, who brought this back up again. And I'm like, damn, yes, I know this. That's what I'm saying. Don't be like me. There's some stuff that we know, but we don't do. And this is 2022. It can't be a year that we know these things that we're not executing. We got to execute on the things that we actually know. So how to scale your business in 2022, I will cut this up. This will actually be in our portal. If someone's like, hey, I missed that, I need to get that again, we will have it there for you guys. But I think for you guys come and hang out with me, I want to make sure that I'm giving you incredible value. And you can leave for these calls and say that, hey, I got some tools that I can go back and grow my business, and I'll continue to build out on this. Like I said, the 25th webinar, me, Luis Melendez, talking about how to take the leap. That's really catered for anyone that's making less than $100,000 and want to get over that hump. How do you do it? How did he do it? How did he get coached to do it? And I'm going to tell you all of my freaking war stories and what happened and just what not to do, because I don't think I know it all. I think that if we connect with the right people, I believe that none of us is smarter than us. We can build something that's bigger than us. And I look forward to continue on this journey with you guys and mentoring you guys to take the next step.